What's up, gang? Shep here, and pretty excited to discover today that Anthropic has launched Claude 3, the newest family, the newest generation of Claude language models. And the stats are pretty promising for this. So, obviously, language models are benchmarked across a number of different tests to get a holistic look at how effective or intelligent they are. And Claude 3's Opus model here is pretty exciting in that it's got a lot of high scores on a bunch of these key benchmarks here, and one that people will be very pleased to see is this high level of accuracy and effectiveness on zero shot code writing. And if you're unfamiliar, zero shot is basically when you write a strong single purpose prompt that just has everything in it in one block. You're not going back and forth with a chat. It's just sort of I send my zero shot prompt in, I get one answer out. And how effective or accurate is that answer sort of depends on the quality of the language model. So this 84.9% code eval score is really exciting for those of us that are exploring how we, augment our coding and engineering abilities using AI. And it also empowers people that are less familiar with the technology to do more as well. This is a great democratization of coding and engineering capabilities that we are now going to be exploring and tinkering with. Looking at some of the other exciting stats, we've got Claude Vision with some pretty nifty stats here. Gemini still kind of tops a lot of these top line items, but in terms of analyzing diagrams and charts, the Claude models have now introduced a vision modality that's really high quality. Which is great. You can do things like put a chart in, extract JSON structured information. There's a lot of utility for this, and it's great to have another player in this space of API accessible multimodal AI. GPT-4 Vision does allow you to use the multimodal kind of like vision API for, you send an image in and it can tell you what's in the image. If it's a chart, it can do a lot of the same stuff, but it's nice to have a bit more of a resilient technical infrastructure for this. So we have other options to test with, to fall back on. Maybe one model is better at this kind of chart or diagram and the other is better at a different type. So we can kind of create these more robust systems for managing the complexities of prompt engineering at scale. A few other awesome highlights are if you've been using Claude, you'll know the 200K context window. They have a long context window compared to some of the other models. GPT-4 Turbo currently has 128K, but if you're following along with AI news, Gemini Pro recently rocked the boat by introducing a 1 million token context window. And it's important to note that this is the biggest, 1 million is the biggest context window that has existed thus far, but most experts feel like we're barely scratching the surface of context window length. It's not far-fetched to say we might have billion context length windows in the future. And that opens up just a ton of opportunities for creative and technical and strategic applications of language models. But one of the biggest pieces out of this announcement from Claude is that their new flagship Claude 3 Opus has fantastic accuracy and recall across long context windows and long chats. It's also worth noting that they make mention that all three models are capable of accepting inputs exceeding 1 million tokens, but that is sort of a customer feature. So the cat's out of the bag, long context windows are coming in hot. The pricing for the Claude 3 Opus model, they're kind of like big, exciting new flagship power horse model, it's kind of expensive. It's still on par with GPT-4 costs. I think the equivalent for GPT-4 with 1 million tokens is like $80. So 8 cents per 1,000 tokens. This is about the same, although I think their input token cost is a little bit lower than GPT-4's is. But this section right here is exactly what we're looking for. Although that API cost might be high, $75 for 1 million tokens, you can do a lot of stuff with 1 million tokens. Um, and for prompt engineering platforms where we're automating or making these uh, complex systems easy and accessible for the layman, people who might not understand prompt engineering, being able to put it on autopilot with a great model that just sort of handles everything under the hood with good prompting, it makes a whole world of difference in terms of democratizing this expertise. And I'm particularly excited about the applications of Claude 3's Opus for strategy work. And that's where I have been particularly focused, innovation and strategy with AI augmentation. It's an exciting new frontier. And yeah, I think that about wraps it up. Everything here is available through Amazon Bedrock, which is sort of their like model aggregator service via API in AWS. And it's exciting to see that, Anthropic's obviously like a very frontier organization in this space. And because of that, they recognize that model intelligence is nowhere near its limits. Even though GPT-4 and Claude 3 Opus are some of the most, not some of the most intelligent language models and AIs that have ever been created, we're nowhere near the peak of capabilities here. So that's important to keep in mind. Every week, every month, there's these incredible new breakthroughs, and it's we have to condition ourselves that this is not the end. If you've been riding the AI language model boom since ChatGPT 3.5 came out and turned the world on its head, it's felt like every week there's an incredible new breakthrough. Well, that's really not going to stop. It's just going to keep getting more and more exciting, more and more powerful, and it's important that when these moments happen, you've got somebody who can kind of explain the implications, the importance. Hopefully, I'm able to do that for you here today. And with that being said, go to Claude.ai and check out the exciting new capabilities from Anthropic. We'll put this in big font here, Claude.ai. And yeah, thanks for tuning in to Innovation Velocity. Hope you thought this was helpful. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.